Hey there, welcome back. Or welcome if you're new, I'm so glad you're here. Can I just say, some mornings I look around my house and think, where do I even start? Like the coffee's still hot, but my brain already feels scrambled toys on the floor, receipts on the counter, stuff that was just for now, still sitting there 3 days later. And the worst part, it's not just the mess. It's that quiet, sinking feeling, like you're losing control of your space, your time, and sometimes even yourself. I've been there. Honestly, I still go there. But over the years, I found a few simple tricks that help me keep the clutter down and my sanity mostly intact. So in today's video, I'm sharing 7 real-life habits that help reduce visual clutter in my home without making it feel like a full-time job. And the first tip, it's one of those things I used to roll my eyes at until I actually tried it, and now I'll never go back. Tip 1. Ask yourself, will I use this in the next 24 hours? Some things don't scream clutter at first, they just linger. That random Amazon box by the stairs, the hair straightener still plugged in from Tuesday, the blender you left out because you might make another smoothie. And then suddenly every surface in your house feels like it's halfway between in use. And I'll get to it later. Here's the simple shift that changed that for me. If I'm not going to use it in the next 24 hours, it gets put away. Right now. No more mental negotiations. For example, last week I left a glue gun and some ribbon out on the dining table. I had this idea to finish a wreath sometime this weekend. But it stayed there for 5 days untouched and made the whole space feel messy. Now I have a rule, if I won't use it by tomorrow night, it goes back into the craft bin in the hallway closet. Total time to put away less than 2 minutes. And yes, the wreath still got finished, just without the visual chaos in between. This 24-hour filter helps me reset my surfaces and my mindset. No guilt, no pressure, just a gentle nudge to make a choice. And honestly, I'm reminding myself of this rule today because tomorrow, I'm finally tackling that quiet pile of 2025 stuff that's been sitting in the corner, old calendars, unused planners, random holiday decor I never put away. It's time. And speaking of choices, clutter loves to stick around when we haven't decided where something actually belongs. Next up, here's tip 2. Give every item a home or it'll end up everywhere. Clutter isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just scattered. A pair of scissors left on the counter, a roll of tape that drifts from drawer to drawer, a power bank you keep moving around because it doesn't really belong anywhere. And that's exactly the problem. When something doesn't have a clear home, it keeps floating and eventually clutters up your day. Here's the shift. If it's something you use more than once a month, it needs a permanent spot. Not just in this area or somewhere near the desk, an actual labeled go-to home. Let me give you an example. I had a small collection of tools I used often, a tiny screwdriver, a measuring tape, and a roll of command hooks. None of them lived together. One was in a kitchen drawer, another buried under receipts in the junk bowl, and the hooks, no idea. So I cleared out one half-empty drawer in the hallway, dropped in 2 small trays, and created a fix-it zone. Now when I find a loose screw or want to hang something, I know exactly where to go, and just as importantly, where to put it back. It takes 10 minutes to set up, but it saves hours of redeciding later. Because visual clutter often comes from one quiet question we ignore: where does this go? And if the answer is, I don't know, it's going to sit out every time. Next up, let's talk about those in-between items. The stuff we're still using but not really, and why they deserve their own special zone. Let's move into tip 3. Make space for the in-between stuff. You know, that pile of things you're going to deal with soon. But not right now. Returns. Half-finished projects. Paperwork you're still thinking about. They start out harmless. But over time, they build up, and suddenly your dining table looks like a waiting room. The truth is, not everything in your home is permanent. Some things are just passing through, and that's okay as long as they don't take over your surfaces. Here's the shift. Create one designated zone for temporary items. Not a vague corner, a specific labeled finite space. For example, I use one shallow bin in my hallway cabinet. It's where I drop anything I know I'll use or deal with within the week, like a new light bulb I need to install, a return I'll drop off Saturday, an envelope I need to mail. If it fits in the bin, great. If not, that's my cue to stop accumulating more almost done tasks. And when the bin starts to feel full, that's my built-in reminder to finish something, not just keep storing more. This one habit, having a temporary home for temporary stuff, keeps your home from feeling like a to-do list exploded all over it. Coming up next, let's talk about a sneaky visual culprit that's hiding in plain sight. And it's not what you think. Tip 4. Calm your counters by ditching the packaging. Your home isn't a store shelf, but it sure starts to look like one when every surface is covered in bright boxes and loud labels. Dish soap, snack bags, cereal boxes, hand sanitizer, all designed to grab attention at the store. But once they're home, they just make your space feel busy. Here's the shift. Replace loud packaging with calm containers just for the things that stay visible. You don't have to decant everything. You don't need a Pinterest pantry. Just focus on what your eyes land on most. For me, it started with the dish soap bottle. It was bright green neon label right next to the sink. One day, I poured it into a simple amber glass pump. Same soap, totally different vibe. That tiny change made the whole sink area feel less frantic. Then I did the same with hand lotion in the bathroom and coffee grounds on the counter. Now the things I leave out blend in instead of shouting at me every time I walk by. It's a small effort that creates a quieter room. And in a world that already pulls our attention in 1,000 directions, that matters more than it sounds. And once you've calmed the packaging, let's talk about how to make those containers actually work for you, instead of adding even more mess. Tip 5. Don't just buy bins, plan them. Storage bins feel like an easy win. You're overwhelmed, the shelf looks chaotic, and buying a few pretty containers seems like the solution. But here's the truth. A bin isn't helpful just because it's cute. If it doesn't fit your space or your real-life habits, it just becomes another thing to manage. Here's the shift. Decide what you're storing and where before you bring anything home. Let me tell you where I messed this up. A few months ago, I was trying to organize the open shelving in my bathroom. I bought 4 woven baskets I saw on sale, loved the look. But when I got home, they stuck out past the shelf edge. I couldn't close the cabinet doors. Worse, they were slightly too short, so taller bottles kept tipping over. The space looked styled, but it didn't function. So guess what happened? Within 2 weeks, I stopped using them. Stuff just ended up on the counter again. I finally slowed down and did it differently. I took everything off the shelves, measured the height, width, and depth, grouped what I actually used into 3 categories: skincare backups and hair tools. Then I went online, found matching bins that fit not just aesthetically, but in terms of dimensions and what I'd actually put inside. This time the basket slid in like a glove, bottles stayed upright, nothing was wasted space. Now that shelf isn't just organized, it's easy. I can find what I need in seconds. I never knock things over reaching for the back. And when I clean, I can pull one bin, wipe the shelf, and slide it back in. That's what we actually want from storage: less searching, less reshuffling, more flow. And speaking of flow, nothing throws off a calm corner faster than a mess of tangled cords. Let's tackle that next. Tip 6. Hide the wires so your space actually feels clean. You know that weird moment, when you've just cleaned, the floor is vacuumed, the counter is wiped, but somehow the room still feels messy? It's probably the wires. Phone chargers draped over the nightstand, power strips with 6 cords curling behind the desk, that black cable hanging down from the TV like it's trying to escape. We get so used to seeing them that we stop noticing, but they keep making the space feel unsettled. Here's the shift: hide guide, or group every visible wire. Even if it's not perfect, even if you're renting, even if it's just with tape and a little creativity. Let me give you a real example. In my living room, we had one big eyesore: a cable that dropped straight down from the mounted TV. Every time I sat down, that wire pulled my eye and made the whole wall feel unfinished. I finally bought a simple white cable cover on Amazon under $10. It stuck to the wall and blended in almost completely. Took 8 minutes to install, I didn't even paint it. And yet the room instantly felt calmer, like it could exhale. I've done the same in my workspace. Use little adhesive clips to pull cords under the desk, group power bricks in a small bin, and labeled chargers with washi tape. Nothing fancy. But it works because my eyes aren't constantly scanning visual noise. Hiding wires isn't about being aesthetic. It's about removing one more thing that makes your space feel like a project instead of a place to rest. And speaking of rest, let's talk about how to make your shelves look calm even when they're open and full. Tip 7. Show just enough, not everything. Open shelves can be beautiful or completely overwhelming. And the difference, it's not how many things you own, it's how many your eyes have to process at once. If your shelves are packed with different shapes, sizes, colors, and textures, even clean, things can look like clutter. Here's the shift. Don't hide everything, just make what's visible feel calm and consistent. Let me give you a real example. In my bathroom, the shelves are open. And for a while, I tried to be super organized, everything in clear bins with lids. But you know what happened? I was constantly digging, opening, restacking, getting frustrated. It wasn't working. So I switched to opaque white bins, just open containers all the same size. Now I can still see enough to grab what I need, but the shelf doesn't scream for attention anymore. White cotton pads, neutral bottles, no logos, no neon. It's not aesthetic, it's just quiet. And when I did the same thing in the kitchen, grouping snacks into matching baskets, switching bright boxes for simple glass jars, I noticed something surprising. I didn't clean more often, but the space looked cleaner all the time. This isn't about hiding your life, it's about letting your eyes rest. Because when your home isn't constantly asking for your attention, your mind gets a break too. Sometimes the mess isn't on your counters, it's under your feet. Shoes kicked off near the door, an open bag half unpacked by the couch, a laundry basket that's been temporarily sitting next to the bed for 3 days. And here's what I've noticed. Even if the surfaces are clear, a cluttered floor makes the whole space feel unsettled, like something's always in the way. So here's the shift. Try to keep at least 80% of your floor visible. That doesn't mean your home has to look empty, but it means anything on the floor should either belong there, like a rug or furniture, or have a clear reason to be out right now. A personal example. Last winter, I kept a pile of reusable grocery bags near the front door, thinking it would remind me to grab them. But they never made it to the car. They just sat there slumped in a corner. Every time I walked by, it annoyed me. One day, I finally hung a small hook behind the entryway door and tucked the bags inside. Same bags, same routine. But now they're off the floor and the entryway feels instantly calmer. The benefit, a clear floor gives your space room to breathe, and you feel like you can breathe too. Decor can be beautiful, but when every surface holds a little something, it starts to feel like your home is trying to say too much at once. Those unmoving objects, candles, trinkets, tiny framed quotes, little sculptures, they don't create chaos by themselves. But together, they become visual noise. Here's the shift. Give yourself a limit. Try no more than 2 decorative items per surface. This isn't about minimalism, it's about giving your eyes a place to rest. Here's what I did. On my bedroom dresser, I used to have all the things I loved: a framed photo of my kids, a scented candle, a little jewelry tray, a glass jar with dried flowers, and a dish of seashells from a trip. None of it was messy, but it made the space feel busy. So I chose just 2, the photo and the candle. I moved the rest into a drawer or elsewhere in the house. Now when I walk into the room, the dresser feels clean, not empty, just settled. And the things that are still there feel special again, not lost in the crowd. The benefit. When there's less to look at, your home feels calmer and more intentional. We often think of clutter as physical, but light can make a space feel chaotic even when it's clean. Harsh overhead lights, mismatched bulbs, or cold blue tone lighting can make a room feel sterile or stressful, like you're in a store, not a home. Here's the shift. Add 1 soft, warm light source in a key area, something that brings a gentle glow, especially in the evening. Think a small table lamp, a wall sconce, or even string lights tucked into a corner. Let me give you a real example. In my kitchen, we only had one ceiling light, bright white and a little too intense. Every time I made tea at night, the space felt jarring and overly alert. One day I added a small lamp to the counter near the coffee machine, just a soft amber bulb with a linen shade. Now when I walk in after the kids are in bed, the kitchen feels like a calm nook instead of a workspace. I didn't change anything else, just the light, and somehow it makes the whole room feel more peaceful. The benefit. When the lighting feels warm and settled, you feel warm and settled too. It's one of the easiest ways to shift the mood of a room without touching a single item. Sometimes all it takes is one little change, one drawer cleaned out, one corner cleared, to feel like you can breathe again. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just pick one spot that's been quietly draining you and try one of these shifts there. If even one idea today helped you feel a little more grounded, a little more at ease, then that's more than enough. I've also made a full video on decluttering specific zones in your home, like entryways, bathrooms, and kitchen counters. If you want to take the next step, that might be the one to watch next. And if this video gave you something useful, feel free to tap like or subscribe so I know this kind of content helps. You deserve a home that feels like it's on your side.